Welcome to Dark Character Profiler. Take a deep dive into the background and personalities of villains from books, video games, manga, and comics. Psychological analysis of some of the most deviant and heinous characters of all time. Now, here's Fulcrum.
Hello and welcome. I'm Fulcrum. Before we get started, I wanted to plug my dad, Rich, who helped produce my show's intro and outro. If you're into actual musicians playing actual music on actual instruments, please check out the Never Ending Radio Show at neverendingradioshow.com. Timeless music, timeless principles, neverendingradioshow.com. Now, on to the episode. Stay tuned at the end of this episode to get a glimpse of the audiobook, A Kingdom of Ash and Steam, The Ogress's Son, an action-adventure, sci-fi, and steampunk novel written by Paige Zaplendam and narrated by Rich Fraser. A link to the audiobook will also be provided in the episode description. The crimson hue of the Sith temple cast long, ominous shadows that seemed to whisper of ancient evils. My hand, calloused from years of command, trembled slightly as I gripped the hilt of my lightsaber. Tenebrae, the architect of countless atrocities, loomed large in my mind, a monstrous figure of pure darkness. The weight of the galaxy and the fate of countless innocents pressed down on my shoulders, a crushing responsibility that threatened to suffocate me. As Alliance commander, I had sworn an oath to protect the fragile peace, to stand as a bulwark against the encroaching darkness. Fear, cold and insidious, gnawed at the edges of my resolve. Could the Eternal Alliance, battered and bruised by years of conflict, truly withstand the onslaught of the Sith Lord? The fate of countless worlds hung in the balance, and with it, the legacy of generations. I had to face the darkness, no matter the cost. Throughout Tenebrae's life, he has gone by many different names. His original name at birth was Tenebrae. He was also known as Lord Vitiate, the Sith Emperor, and Valkorion. His species is pure-blood Sith, which is different from the Sith that we know in the Star Wars universe. His home world was Medrius, which is in the Outer Rim. He was born to a mother who was just a farmer woman. We don't know anything about her other than she worked on a farm and lived on a farm. His father was Lord Dramath, who ruled over his home world. He began displaying a force connection at a very young age. He used his power as he grew older to manipulate and control other people. He embraced the dark side of the force. He actually also delved into forbidden Sith rituals to unlock his true potential. One of those Sith rituals would be using essence transfer to evade death, making him essentially immortal. So essence transfer allows the individual to transfer their life force into another body. And this is how he later became known as Darth Vitiate and then Valkorion. And as Valkorion, he created the Eternal Empire on Zakuul. He lived for over 1,500 years until he was confronted by the Alliance commander, who is also the player character, and a few other people, including Revan, Darth Scourge, Satil Shan, Darth Mar, and countless others who helped defeat Tenebrae, Vitiate, and Valkorion. So they all three manifested in their own way, and as the player character, you had to defeat all three of them. This was just a little bit of a character background of Tenebrae before we move on to his personality, the poll review, and his psychological analyses. Now I would like to give you a little bit of a history of Tenebrae's personality. So he's actually pretty ruthless and merciless. He is absolutely devoid of empathy and compassion and will stop at nothing to achieve his goals regardless of the suffering that he inflicts on others. He's very manipulative and deceitful. He twists the minds of others to his will and thrives on sowing discord and exploiting weaknesses to gain advantages. He's also actually pretty patient and enduring. He's willing to bide his time for centuries to achieve his long-term goals, and setbacks are just temporary obstacles to him, and he has an unwavering pursuit in ultimate power. And last, he is completely contemptuous of weakness. He despises it in any form. He believes that emotion and compassion are weaknesses and seeks to eradicate these weaknesses from himself and those around him. These are just some of the personality traits that can be seen in Tenebrae. More will be discovered as we go through his psychological analysis. Before we delve into the psychological analysis, I want to provide you with a disclaimer. While I am not a licensed psychologist, I do have a Master of Science degree in forensic psychology. This allows me to offer a unique perspective on potential disorders based on the characteristics and descriptions of these fictional characters. Please remember, this is not an official diagnosis, but rather an interpretation of characteristics. All analyses were researched using the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. This disclaimer ensures we approach these discussions with the utmost respect and sensitivity towards mental health issues. On the last episode, I posted a poll asking what you all think Tenebrae's final analysis will be. A majority of you voted for antisocial personality disorder, and some of you voted for borderline personality disorder. Narcissistic personality disorder and other received no votes. Stay tuned for the final analysis after we explore his crimes and evidence for the diagnoses. In this next section, we will be breaking down the evidence that supports the final diagnoses for Tenebrae. So, Tenebrae believes himself to be a godlike being and that he is above all others. He believes his powers and intellect far surpass all others in the galaxy. His titles, such as Darth Vitiate, Emperor of the Sith Empire, and Eternal Emperor, demonstrate an inflated self-image. So he's trying to show dominance, immortality, and omnipotence. His ultimate goal is complete domination of the galaxy and immortality. He basically is seeking to transcend life and death. He has echoes of himself spread throughout the galaxy to impose his will on the galaxy. The Sith Empire was built on the premise that he is the ultimate authority. He demands absolute loyalty from everyone around him. He also creates mythology around himself to cement his legacy. He is a master manipulator. Those in his inner circle are often treated as pawns to further his own plans. He views all life as expendable tools for his own gain. His closest allies are not spared from disregard. Everyone is beneath him. He treats people as disposable tools or resources and casts aside anyone once they are no longer of use to him. He also has orchestrated the war between the Sith Empire and the Republic. He has complete apathy toward life. He has actually annihilated entire planets and consumed the inhabitants of those planets to fuel his own power. He performed a ritual on Nathema where he sacrificed the entire planet to achieve immortality so that he can basically use an essence transfer whenever his current body is defeated or killed. The essence transfer allows him to transfer his essence into the closest person by him. He also possesses and manipulates the entirety of the Ziost population, leading to a widespread slaughter. He has no concern for the billions of lives that were lost. He shows no remorse for his atrocities. Even when confronted with the consequences, he shows absolutely no regret. He's also controlled, but still ruthless at the same time. He annihilates anyone who dares to oppose him, including his allies. He has a cold, calculated violence, and destruction for him is just a means to an end. He even justifies all of his actions as steps toward his ultimate goal of immortality and ultimate power. Next, we're going to move on to how this evidence applies to the final analysis for Tenebrae. Now that we've gone through the evidence, we will start to explore the final analysis for Tenebrae. Let me know in the comments if you were able to guess it right. So, the final analysis for Tenebrae came out to be narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder. With narcissistic personality disorder, this one fits because of the pervasive pattern of grandiosity, need for attention, and lack of empathy beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts that clearly fits Tenebrae based on the evidence that we just went through. Antisocial personality disorder is a pervasive pattern of disregard for and violation of the rights of others occurring since age 15. The individual is at least 18. There is evidence of conduct disorder with onset before age 15, and the occurrence of antisocial behavior is not exclusively during the course of schizophrenia or bipolar, which obviously his behavior is not associated with either of those two. With conduct disorder, that one is a repetitive and persistent pattern of behavior in which the basic rights of others or major age-appropriate societal norms or rules are violated, including aggression toward people and animals, destruction of property, deceitfulness or theft, and serious violation of rules. So Tenebrae definitely exhibited conduct disorder in his childhood, which obviously led into a later analysis of antisocial personality disorder based on, again, the evidence that we just went through. But let me know in the comments what you think. Do you agree or disagree with the analysis? Before we wrap things up, I wanted to give you all some interesting facts that I discovered while doing my research on Tenebrae. So, in canon, Tenebrae is known as an individual who once served as the Sith Emperor during or after 4000 BBY. His first canon mention is in Coruscant, which was an issue of the Star Wars Encyclopedia. His master was Marka Ragnos, who held the title of Dark Lord of the Sith and ruled over the Sith Empire at one point. His apprentice was Exal Kresh, who was a female pure-blooded Sith descended from the Sith Lord Ludo Kresh. His parents include his biological father, Lord Drameth, who ruled over Medrius, his mother, who was an unnamed farmer, and his stepfather, who was also an unnamed farmer. His stepfather raised Tenebrae thinking that Tenebrae was his son until Tenebrae started showing force sensitivity, which neither himself nor Tenebrae's mother exhibited. Once he became Valkorian, he started a family. He married his wife, Senya Tiral, and they had 3 children together, twin sons, Arkin and Thexan, and their daughter, who was the youngest, Valen, who was very powerful in the dark side of the Force. But those are just some of the interesting facts that I discovered while doing my research for this episode. I want to thank you all for listening, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.
Humanity was not meant to live this way. Society is left to the mercy of murderers and cutthroats. Hear Paige Zaplin Dam's epic tale brought to life in an audiobook. For years, Slade had felt secure in the forest. I am from simple, humble beginnings. I was raised in the Ironwood by an Ogress, an Anaral. He saw immediately that she was beyond a healer's aid. Even a skilled witch could not help her recover from losing so much blood. Mother? Slade thought he wanted revenge. Instead, he got redemption. A kingdom of ash and steam. The Ogress's Son, a dystopian neo-Dark Age fantasy, narrated by Rich Fraser. Now available on iTunes and Audible. I promise you I will find whoever did this and avenge you, Mother.
Your feedback is crucial. Do you agree or disagree with this analysis? Your comments on this episode or in the comments section for the Instagram or X profiles for the podcast are highly valued. Also, please like this episode and share it with your friends and family. The show's email address and social media links are provided in the episode description. All resources are also provided in the episode description. Don't forget to take a look at the poll at the end of this episode where you can vote on what you think the final breakdown will be for the next episode's villain. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you for listening to Dark Character Profiler with Fulcrum. Listen every other Tuesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts.